Are you a new VTuber struggling to set up your model? Maybe the mouth won't open enough, or maybe you just want the model to move more like the bigger VTubers out there. Don't worry, you don't have to spend thousands of dollars. You just need to set up your model the right way in VTube Studio. Even a budget-friendly model will look great with just the right settings. Now, there are a lot of amazing tutorials out there, but they can get confusing very fast, especially if you're a brand new VTuber with no experience. I've decided to make a series of videos to explain all the basics that will be easy to follow, even if you never touched VTube Studio until now. In these videos, I will go over how to set up your model, how to make your model work better with your face, how to set up your expressions, and what is the difference between all these tracking options. Maybe you'll even learn something new if you already have a model set up. I hope these tips will help you, and now let's begin with part 1, how to set up your model. This is part 1 in setting up your VTuber model. Now we're really beginning at zero with the basics, and with that I mean I'm going over how to set up your model, so we're not going to focus on tracking quite yet. That will be the next part. If you don't care about the setup, you already know what you want, just skip to the next part, it's all good. In this part we're going to go over folders, how to sort your parameters into folders, how to set up parameters in general, how to add extra VWidget parameters, and how to rename your model and give them a nice little icon in the menu. If you already have all of that done, if you know how to do it, like I said, feel free to skip and I'll see you in the next video. Now, before you open VTube Studio, make sure your model is imported into the program. Some people don't know that step, and don't worry, that mistake happens to many people. So what I want you to do is go to the description down below and click that link and follow the amazing tutorial of that creator. I will link them below, like I said, just click it, pause this video, import your model and come back here. Some people forget to import your model, and it happened to me before as well. It happens, don't worry about it. Once you've made sure your model is imported, come back here and we'll go over the setup. Now, you've imported your model, it should be here, all nice and dandy. You open up VTube Studio, and bam, this model pops up. What the heck? Don't worry, this is a pre-made VTube Studio model. It's meant to be there. It happens to everyone. There's a few. Now, how do we get to your model? Well, if there's nothing on the left side, there should be. If you don't see these buttons, just double left click, and they appear. If you want them gone, press the X, want them back, double left click. Now what do all these buttons mean? Don't worry, I'll do a separate video on those. For now, we're just going to worry about the setup. Nothing scary, nothing complicated today. So how do we get to your model? Up here, if you hover over this button, it says Change VTube Studio Model, and we're just going to go click that, because that's where all the VTube Studio models are located. Now, it might take a while to load in. Give it some time. As you can see, there's a lot of models down here, and if you can't see yours, just scroll with the mouse wheel and yours should pop up. There's not that many in the VTube Studio model files to begin with, so you should see yours right away. If you don't see your model, just type in the name of the model you have, and it should appear, just like that. Now, I want to say a big thank you to Pip for giving me her model. That way I can show you guys how to set up a model properly, even with VBridger. She's been so kind to say, yeah, you can use it, so give her a big follow and a big thank you from me. Now, once you've located your model, just click on it, and it should load in. Now I will tell you how to move your model. You can click on it and drag. To scale up and down, just scroll. And to rotate your model, hold the Control key while scrolling. But that's not important right now, so we're just going to click once, and the scary pop-up pops up. Don't worry, this will just ask you how to set up your parameters. Since we're starting from zero, we're going to ignore copy setup from other model, and we're just going to focus on the auto setup, because that's what we need right now. So we're going to click that, we're going to hit OK, and it will create 20 new parameters based on default parameters. That means if you have a VBridger model without the parameters ready, you're going to have to set them up yourself. And don't worry, we'll do that in this tutorial as well. So now you have your model. What now? Well, we're going to head over to settings, and then we're going to ignore all of this up here. We'll get into those in a different video. And we're going to go to model settings. Now, most of the stuff down here is just tracking specific. We don't worry about that for now. That will be a next video. What's important, however, is the name. For example, if you want to give your model another name or a nickname, you can click up here and type in another name. Pip is cute, for example. Oh, I put in a space on accident there. There we go, hit enter, and your model is now renamed in VTube Studio, if you want to. Now, if you scroll and your model doesn't have a little picture at the bottom and it says no icon and you think it's ugly, just drag the PNG you want into the VTube Studio folder. So you open VTube Studio, you locate your model, and then inside the model folder, you will drag a PNG, and then you should, if you click on the icon where it says no icon, you'd find the PNG, depending on whatever it's named, hit select, and now there should be an icon. Remember, the PNG or JPEG needs to be inside the model folder inside of VTube Studio. That's how you get your little icon in there. Now, idle animation and idle animation tracking lost isn't important right now. Neither is this. We're just gonna focus on the parameters and folders. Now, first thing I like to do is create folders for every part of the body. That way, when we set up the tracking later, we don't have to scroll down and up and down and up when fixing things. Let me show you. So we're gonna hit the folder down here first, and then this pops up. We're just gonna hit add or edit folders. We don't have any folders yet, so we're just gonna hit here because we want to add them. Hit select. And then what does this mean? Well, this means we don't have any folders yet. So we're just gonna hit the plus here, and we can name whatever you want. You don't have to follow my examples. You can name it whatever you want. I usually do head, eyebrows, eyes, face, and body. Oh, I already have head. I have face up here. See? Mistakes happen to anyone. I meant to say mouth. So if you ever mess up, like I just did, you can just delete a folder. Now, if you're getting too confused by the colors of them, you can always hit down here, where the like little white color thing is, and you get a little color square, and you can change the color to whatever you want. And then you hit OK, and the folder has a different color. You don't have to choose a specific color, it can be any color you want, just if you like it more when visually sorting for stuff. Once you're happy with the folders you have, and you like what they look like, you can hit OK. Over here, just the rules again, how it works with folders. So take your time, read through this, and then once you're happy, hit OK. Now, once we click here, you should see your model folders right there with the color we picked. But the thing is, if I hit face, all the parameters are gone because nothing is in that folder yet for face. You can always hit X and every parameter is back. What's a parameter? That's this little box here that says input, output, and has these funny numbers. That's a parameter. This one right here is the parameter for your face going left and right, as it says. That's what it means. Now adding them to the folders is quite simple. You're just going to hit this little folder symbol, should have an X on it, and then you're just going to put in the folder you want it to be. Because this is the face left-right direction, we're going to put in the face folder. Hit select, and I will green check mark, which means it's in that folder. To see if it works, just hit your face folder, and bam, it's in there, and none of the others. This will make it very easy when you're setting up the numbers down here for tracking later on, because you don't have to scroll up and down for simple fixes. Everything's just in one place. Sort them however you want them to be sorted. I'm just going to speedrun this and put them in the folders that I want them to be in. Make sure they fit into yours as well, and we'll come back in a second. Now, you should have set up all your folders and have everything in the right place. For example, this is my face, and here my eye, physics, down here. It all looks good. Just double check everything's in the right spot, and you have everything where you want it to be. If you notice you don't want something in a folder, let's say you don't want eye open right in the eyes folder, you can just hit the folder button again and switch it into a different folder. Just like that. So don't worry, nothing's permanent. Now that we're done, we can move on to the next part. However, your rigger might have included MouthX for you, because that is not VBridger specific. So, how do we add MouthX? How would we even add VBridger parameters? Well, don't worry, it's very easy. First, you're going to scroll all the way to the bottom, and then you're going to hit this little plus sign. And look, you created a blank parameter. There's nothing in here, so nothing you can do wrong. So, for example, we're making MouthX right now. Just like that, we can name it MouthX. Perfect. Now, what we need is the input. What's the input? Well, that's simple. Input is always your face. That's what input is. For example, if you open your mouth, that will be mouth open as an input. If you open your left eye, this will be the input for that parameter. Output is obviously what your model will do. Let's say I have mouth open as an input and eye open as an output. Whenever you open your mouth, your eye opens up. That's basically it. Now, we're looking for mouth X, and there's so many inputs, how will we ever find it? But don't worry, the filter down here, just type in whatever you're looking for, and if it's there, it should pop up. Mouth X. Now, you may have noticed there's this next to it. What does that mean? This basically means this parameter can be used with iOS, Android, and RTX tracking. If you don't have any of those, you can't use mouth X. Same with VTS-Pog, that's a plugin for TTS pets, or VBridger plugins. So for this, you would need VBridger for it to work. As I said, for mouth X, you don't need VBridger, so we're all good to set it up. Now, output, you can go look for mouth X, and if you have it, just put in output. And now you have mouth X working. That's basically model set up. We're going to put it in a mouth folder, and if you don't have VBridger, you're done here and can move on to the next part. If you have VBridger, keep watching because this will be the next part. Now, VBridger, it depends what you got from your rigger. There's VBridger body tracking, face tracking, eye, and mouth tracking. You know best what you paid for and what tracking you got. If you're not sure, ask your rigger. All of this should be set up already, technically, but sometimes riggers don't know how to do that. And by that I mean send you the model file with the parameters set up, or they didn't figure out how to do it and couldn't really explain it well to you. This will explain it to you in detail. Just make sure to ask what VBridger parameters you have that work for you. Because if you set up a parameter you don't have, it won't do anything. It's not a bad thing. You can set up all of them if you want to, but if you don't have it, obviously, you won't be able to use it. Now, I'm going to use the mouth as an example, and we'll just start. Now, same thing as with mouth X, we're just going to make a new parameter, and I'm just going to go to input for now, and we're going to type in VBridger. And now every VBridger parameter that you can use is available here for you to see. As you can tell, there's quite a lot, and you will know what you need to set up. So same thing as before. We're just going to do the mouth for now. So we're going to start with mouth packer down here. Output, mouth packer. Mouth packer wide in this case. It could be different. I would recommend naming your parameters as well, just so that when you edit it later on, it won't get too confusing. And as always, if you have a folder, put it in there. Just helps to keep on top of things. So I will just set up every mouth parameter that is in VBridger for now. I will speed this process up, but as always, feel free to slow down the video and follow along. I will just do the same thing for every mouth parameter that there is in VBridger. So, nothing scary set up, just follow along. Alright, and you have just completed setting up your Vtuber model. As always, if you have more parameters for VBridger or other parameters in general you want to use and set up, just follow this method, put them in the folders you want them to be in, and you're basically done for the next video. Now we're just going to go over everything again. We've got our face folder, then we have our eyebrows, the eyes, you get the idea. Basically, this is what you'll want to do. And that's all there is for the Vtuber setup for now. Now, the next part will be a bit more complex because you will look over the tracking and how to make it fit your face a lot more, so that your tracking won't look as stiff anymore and looks more nicer. I hope this helped clear up some confusion on how to set up parameters. I know it might be unnecessary for most people because their riggers already have it set up for them. You will just have to adjust them to fit your face, but I think it's important to know why you're doing what you're doing, and this will just help you understand better what's behind the setup. Now, if you ever mess up at any point, you can always set auto setup, but if you have VBridger, just know those parameters you set up extra will be deleted, so you will have to add them again. Let me just show you when I hit OK, and we go to the mouth. Nothing is in the folder anymore, but our folders are still there. If you scroll down, none of the extra parameters I've just set up will be there. That's just a warning. in case something ever goes terribly wrong and you don't know what to do and you messed up at everything. That's just a blank reset. That's all it is. If at any point you have a model you already like how you set it up, you can just auto set up, copy set from other model. I'm just going to copy another VBridger model I have for now, which will be gem. Hit select. Copy basic settings, physics, parameter setup. They're not the same model, so we don't need the same hotkeys and everything. We're going to hit OK. Hit OK. It's going to take a while. We don't have eye squint, R squint, and cheek puff C, and that's okay. It will tell us we don't, so we couldn't set that up. But we have every parameter now. So if you have a model where you already like the setup, where you're happy with the setup, you can copy the settings. That's all it is. So yeah, I hope this helped. Thank you so much for watching. Big thank you to Pip for lending me her model so I can show you guys how to do this. And thank you guys for being here. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye!